Every kid born into this world is given a gift.
Hayes Jones' gift was the ability to clear 42-inch hurdles, stay in stride, and reach the tape first. Nearly a half-century ago, he grabbed Olympic gold.
I did not touch one hurdle, and I cannot to this day tell you how I ran over those 10 hurdles. I can only remember lunging for the tape.
The memory is a blur, but Jones clearly recalls his unlikely journey getting there.
I'm a Michigan boy from Pontiac, Michigan.
Old ribbons speak to his early skill as a runner, but as a teenager, Jones wasn't good enough to compete for Pontiac High. So he told the coach, "Let me practice this summer."
And he left some hurdles unlocked at Wisner Stadium where we ran track. And I went to the stadium every day to practice.
The very next year, Jones won the state high school championship. He won again his senior year. Still, major colleges said he was too small.
I was 5'8", 148 pounds, soaking wet.
Eastern Michigan accepted him and fine-tuned him in spite of a doctor's surprising discovery.
He measured me and he said, "Oh my goodness, your left leg is 3/4 of an inch shorter than your right leg."
But the slightly shorter trailing leg actually helped him. Jones washed dishes and mopped floors to make ends meet, kept getting faster, and won a bronze medal at the 1960 Olympics. He still wanted gold, but after graduating from EMU, had no place to practice.
I would climb over Mumford High School fence to train on their track and run on their hurdles.
He qualified for the '64 Olympics in Tokyo. Jones was older and smaller than his competitors. 3 of them had faster times going into the finals. He was worried, but oh, was he fast.
I had a perfect race.
Jones' one-step victory was confirmed 30 minutes later.
It was just exhilarating, I tell you. I just flashed back as a little boy in Pontiac, Michigan.
So after years of hard training, lowering his times, defying the odds, Hayes Jones finally had his gold medal. And then he gave it away. To the city of Pontiac, a shining reminder to the city's youth that adversity can lead to excellence.
And that's what I think of when I see this photo, and I get just goosebumps.
3-mile power walks keep him fit. He's retired from a successful business career, including working as economic development director for Oakland County. 40 years after he won gold, Pontiac honored him and his wife Rhonda with Hayes Jones Day. He stays upbeat about his hometown, though its struggles include the closing of the Hayes Jones Community Center.
I'm hopeful that the city of Pontiac will turn around and be the city that I remember as a young boy.
But just as caring adults shaped him long ago,
so you have to work on that trail leg.
He nurtures the champions of the future.
It takes dedication, it takes determination, and it takes desire.
To overcome all kinds of hurdles.
It is true what people say. If you work hard, you will achieve.
In Pontiac, I'm Roger Weber, Local 4.
50 Shades of Grey is really hot right now, with millions and millions of copies sold. Now the CEO of a Windsor hospital thinks 50 Shades of Grey could play a role in more couples finding themselves in the delivery room.
Countless women have read the erotic thriller 50 Shades of Grey and its counterparts, 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed. Some even line the streets for a chance to meet British author E.L. James, described as a tale that will obsess you, possess you, and stay with you forever. Could this erotic thriller be doing more than reigniting love lives?
I definitely think that people reading the book might take chances that they wouldn't otherwise take, therefore leading to a new bundle.
Anything's possible, but I think it's unlikely.
On the other side of the Detroit River, the birthing center at Windsor Regional Hospital has been busy. 80 babies born over 6 days, something the hospital calls a 30% spike from an average week.
So it's been a very busy spot.
The CEO of the hospital, David Mouche, speculates the spike in births is connected to the popularity of 50 Shades of Grey.
I don't think there's many people kind of saying that that's the exact reason, but it seems like a odd coincidence.
Dr. Bill Mundell is the medical director of maternal fetal medicine at the hospital. He says a connection to the book is a reasonable hypothesis, but he also says they can see a rise in late September, about 9 months after the holidays.
In our business, you know, it's common that you see quiet days and busy days, but it certainly was quite an extraordinary run, you know, for the unit.
50 Shades of Grey tells the tale of when a student, Anastasia Steele, meets entrepreneur Christian Grey. Dr. Mundell says those are names he's hearing a little bit more.
Definitely there's been some names that we haven't seen before that are associated with that book, right?
If there is in fact a connection, what will the 50 Shades progeny be called? You might have heard them called Grey Babies or even Graybies. James's book has been on the New York Times bestseller list for 36 weeks. Is the math close enough? Maybe, but not every new mom believes the book is behind the boom.
I think it's crazy. Why? Because I never read the book when I had a baby, and I don't think a book can really have any impact on someone getting pregnant and having a child.
Amanda McEldowney gave birth to Jalen Marie during the Windsor boom. It's her second child, and she plans to tell her about the boom when she gets a little bit older.
For sure, I'll let her know, and let her know that you're a little piece of the history of the baby boom, and that you had nothing to do with the book either, because I never read it.
And we were curious, so we checked with a couple of hospitals on this side of the river to see if they're seeing any graybees. They say not so far. Sandra Holly, Local 4.
Ramon Aguilar and his twin brother Victor were born December 9th, 1995.
Victor came out and they whisked him away. I heard him cry. And when Ramon was born, it was kind of quiet. Everybody in the room got kind of somber.
His family learned Ramon had a rare birth defect called golden heart syndrome. It can cause several problems, including deformities on one side of the face.
Cleft lip, cleft palate, some have heart disease, some have facial malformations.
Doctors don't know what causes golden heart syndrome. Ramon would spend 4 months in the hospital.
He's never eaten any kind of food by mouth.
He survived heart failure when he was just 3 years old and more than 50 surgeries. Now 16, Ramon has one wish.
Love you no more. I know that he wants to be like every other kid, and not being able to play sports and not being able to do a lot of stuff that his brother gets to do is kind of hard sometimes. Knowing that you're different, that's hard in itself.
Ramon is willing to risk 3 more surgeries for a shot at a more normal life.
His orbit on the right side is smaller and lower, approximately 1 centimeter compared to the left.
Dr. Concret Chiaset is one of 3 surgeons at Beaumont Hospital who will work together to reconstruct Ramon's right eye socket to make it symmetrical with the left. They'll build him a right cheekbone, which he's missing, and reconstruct his jaw to allow him to chew.
The goal is to improve his look, but the risk could be death or brain damage. So it's a risky decision for both sides, parents and doctor.
We're about 1/3 into Ramon's first reconstructive surgery, working on his jaw and right eye socket. While the craniofacial surgeon remodels a piece of skull here, more surgeons are working on other areas there. It's all carefully choreographed. A wrong move could leave Ramon blind or brain damaged, but everything goes according to the plan.
I'm really excited to see how good this turns out to be.
Good to see you.
3 weeks after surgery, Ramon is on the road to recovery. His face is already more symmetrical, but his mom says the biggest change is in his personality.
He laughs so much more than he used to. And I think it's all because he can see the change in himself too.
Amy says she used to think she had the sickest healthy kids around. Her baby son in particular seemed to catch one illness after another. No one knew Cole was actually suffering from something incredibly serious, an illness where even the most ordinary germs could put his life at risk. A family vacation to Disney, trips to the pool, wagon rides with his big sister Autumn. They're memories Cole's parents treasure and experiences they can only dream about, at least for now.
It just seemed like there was all the little ear infections, all the little colds, nothing too big, but it was just like one after another after another.
In his first year of life, Cole was sick a lot, but nothing raised any alarms. At his one-year checkup, he received the chickenpox vaccine. But something strange happened. Cole got the chickenpox.
When he developed it, we really didn't think anything of it. You know, we treated it with the treatment plan like his pediatrician said.
But Cole wasn't getting better.
The chickenpox spread to his lungs. He developed pneumonia. And we knew at that point something was really wrong.
Doctors eventually discovered Cole was suffering from a genetic disorder called severe combined immunodeficiency, better known as SCID.
It's a condition where there is an important part of his immune system is lacking, which puts him at high risk for infectious complications.
Without a healthy immune system, even a cold could threaten Cole's life. So he's now isolated in this hospital room at the University of Michigan's Mott Children's Hospital.
Right now he's battling 2 infections which are very atypical. So one is a chickenpox infection, another one is a mycobacterial infection, which people with normal immune systems would not develop.
Cole's dad and sister visit each day, while Mom stays by his side, doing her best to keep him comfortable and safe in a very limited space.
He likes music and the trucks and books, but obviously he'd like to get out of this room and go for walks, but we can't do that. It kills me to see him like it every day. Every procedure, every OR, because he's working and I'm here. Every time I have to sign a paper to put him under.
Cole is on 15 to 18 medications, but he needs a bone marrow transplant to survive.
The goal of the transplant is that it will replace the part of his immune system which does not work in him. And that won't happen right away. That usually takes several weeks to happen. But as that immune system starts to grow in his body, it will help him fight off his current infections and will eventually be there to help prevent these infections from happening again.
His sister wasn't a match, but a stranger in the National Bone Marrow Registry is. Cole's family doesn't know anything about his donor, but they can't wait to share their thanks.
They don't know they're saving a baby, but they're like saving his entire life. So I thank God every day for them. They're giving not just a few years of life, they're giving an entire life to somebody. Hopefully someday I can meet them and thank them, and they can meet Cole and realize that what they've done.
Doctors hope Cole will be strong enough to have the bone marrow transplant in the next couple of weeks. If all goes well, it'll still take several more weeks, though, before he's healthy enough to go home.
And in spite of everything, Cole is actually considered quite lucky because there was a match in the registry, right?
Well, that's absolutely true. You know, in fact, all too often when we go to the registry, there isn't a match, or if there is, the person is no longer willing to donate. See, we each only have a few matches in the whole world, so it's really critical that as many people as possible join the registry. Minorities in particular are who are really needed.
Really boils down to a huge biologic lottery in so many ways. Yeah, all right, Doc. There's an opportunity for everyone to join the registry this weekend. U of M is hosting their 2nd annual Be a Hero at the Big House event. It's Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. You can donate blood, join the organ donor registry and the bone marrow registry. You can find all the details at clickondetroit.com/health.